Hey, what's up? I'm gonna do a quick video today with my good friend here, Hassan. All right. So not only a good friend, he's obviously been part of the Wing Chun systems when it was Wing Chun Kali system, and then now Wing Chun Science system, or now shortened WCS system. So I just wanted to kind of clarify something here. I think it's kind of idiotic, but it's for me to even explain. But I think there are some people out there who need to kind of learn at that level. So I just want to explain really quick. We see movies where in Wing Chun, the person is doing this chain punching, right? Now, the straight punch is something that's viable. What you're not learning or what's not being taught is the position, right? So obviously, let's say you already threw a punch. You're in a fighting stance and you're gonna throw that punch to me, right? Boom. Now, if he would have thrown the jab, so he throws the jab and then that one, and I'm standing here, he throws the jab and then boom, I'm never gonna have any time to go off, okay? Now, I wouldn't be standing like you see in the movies. That's number one. A straight punch, so let me just throw. So in a typical two in boxing or mixed martial arts, I got my one and I got my two. And notice that when you throw the one and you throw the two, you're hitting, you're pivoting, you're twisting, and you ultimately hit kind of with your last three knuckles. Now that's on a two. There is a type of punch where you use the front two knuckles. So if I wanted to do this long kind of distance punch, then I can throw with this one. So one of those two punches would work perfectly depending on where I am positionally, okay? So this one is no better than this one. So let's get into the position now. So let's say he did throw a one and a two, and I'm like, whoa, two, just pop, pop. So, okay, but look at that. He threw that one, and I throw a Quan Sao there. So a Quan Sao, just conversely go, boom, will make this roll off. So a Quan Sao is replacing where my face used to be. So a lot of people do a Quan Sao like this, but I'm still gonna get hit. A Quan Sao needs to be rolled off. So I roll off of that. That's just a bonus that you guys just got there. We're gonna throw a straight one and two just so I can show you where is a good place to throw a straight Wing Chun punch. Okay, so he throws the one and two, whoa. And so I got out of one and two, parry or pak, and I got out. So now here's my bridge for a straight punch. Now, if I actually hit him, whether I hit him with this, whether I hit him with this, whether I hit him with this, at the end of the day, you got hit, right? So we're only going to tell that it either hurt him or it was effective if he got hit. That's like saying, do I hit you with a hammer or do I hit you with a 25-pound dumbbell? And either one is going to do the trick, okay? That's the way fighting should always be. And Wing Chun is no different. And I think, again, for people who just can't quite understand that concept, maybe fighting is not for you. Now, let's say before he threw the two, he's just trying to play around. He's trying to get his gauge with with that jab. So he's trying to feel his spot so that he could throw the two. Now, I can wait and play that game with him too, or I can see that his boys are behind him and I got to take care of business. So here's another spot. So he throws that jab. Boom. So I go in slow motion. Shoom. It went from this is called a Bill Sao, which is like a bridging hand, hopefully to get his eye. But then I go back and I lop, okay, to pull his hand. And here comes the straight punch, okay? Now, if I were to connect on that, then obviously that can do some damage, and no one would say, well, I wouldn't punch like that. That's wrong. Then you just don't understand fighting and you don't understand physics. Okay, so that's one part I wanted to get out. One other thing that I wanted to show you here, and this is for why people have such a disdain for Kung Fu and martial artists in general. I would say martial artists in general. So let's say I was teaching Hassan something, right? So I'm teaching him a drill. So let's go back to just a simple 1-2. So in this 1-2, I go pa, 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 and I actually hit him, and pa, pa. And everybody sees that and they're amazed. And I hurt this guy. Like, I hit him in the spleen. I got an elbow to him in the cranial. I was able to pock him real hard in his nerve endings, and so on and so forth. Now, that doesn't make me a great fighter just because I'm beating up on somebody who's throwing a 1 and 2. Because in real life, he's throwing 1, 2, and he's actually moving in real life. The whole point in practicing is so that you learn how to get that reflex up, so that everything is automatic. If you know you need to go to channel 5, you go to channel 5. If you know you need to go to channel 10, you go to channel 10. It's at your disposal. That's what practice is. As a teacher, it does me no service. As a matter of fact, it does me a disservice if I just beat this guy up just to show everybody how cool and fancy I am and how I can hit him and how I can hurt him. He's not learning anything but to fear me. And so, in the process of me teaching him a prototype like somebody else, a prototype like 10 people, a prototype like 20, and so on, they will just follow me in fear and in respect that they don't want to do this because I actually hit him and I hurt him every single time, right? That does not do anything for him and his fighting prowess in order for him to learn and understand what it really takes to apply these things when you have to. There's nothing wrong as a teacher that if I was implementing this, so let's say I was actually implementing this, he threw the 1, 2, and I try to do my fancy, arm work, but in real practice, I tell him to execute. So I go 1, 2, pop, pop, and I go like this, and you see how he popped this, and then he punches. And I'm like, oh, you see, in real life, he's no sitting target, like he's actually moving. And that is the way learning should be done. Listen, I've been doing Wing Chun since I was 5 years old, and there's still more that I have to learn within the parameters of every human body, height, width, what people's natural proclivities are, more athleticism, less athleticism, more strength, less strength, so on and so forth. But as a teacher, your job is not to show the world how awesome you are and making your student look like feces. My thing is to uplift him and show him the realities. So I would do the drill the way I want it executed, and then we'll do the drill how it's going to be done when 2 people are interacting. And it's only at that moment that we get to see if it's going to work or it's not going to work. But as a teacher, a real teacher should always be a student. Because once you're a teacher that doesn't learn anymore, you're no good to anybody. And at 53 years old, I still learn and I want to continue to learn, but you should know more about your student than you want the world to know more about you. And that is an important factor that I think is important that all teachers out there in every martial art should really understand.